Hello everybody, Sir Leon here and welcome back to another mathematics video. In today's video, we'll be converting units of measurement. And at the end of this video, you should be able to do a few things. You should be able to convert different units of length. You should be able to convert different units of mass. And you should be able to convert different units for volume. So let's head straight into the video. So first we want to convert between the units that we use for length. Now it says length is a measurement of distance. In the metric system, units of length include the main ones that we use: milliliters, mm, centimeters, cm, and meters, m, and kilometers, km. And there are different conversion rates between the different units. Now there's a table that we typically use to convert from one unit to the next. But today we learn a lovely approach to remember how to convert between any of these units of length that we use. Now we'll use a mnemonic. And the mnemonic, if we know English, it's a sentence or a rhyme in which we use the first word or the first letter in the word to represent something else. And for the mnemonic that we'll use for length, it goes like this: many Chinese dance, many days Hong Kong. Now that is the mnemonic that we'll use. M will be for millimeters, Chinese, C for centimeters, and so on. So it will go like this: many Chinese dance, many days Hong Kong. So we write this from the back to the front. So the first M would be mm, Chinese, the C would be cm, the D would be decimeters. We don't really use that. The M in the middle would be meters. This here would be decameters, and the H would be hectometers, and the K would be kilometers. The main ones that we use to measure length would be mm, cm, meters, and km. And the others are just there for placeholders because you don't really measure using those. So this is the mnemonic: many Chinese dance, many days Hong Kong. And I'll show you how to use this mnemonic to convert between any units of length. So let's look at the first example. The first example says convert 125 meters to millimeters. So the first thing we want to do, we want to write down the mnemonic that we just learned, which is many Chinese died, many days Hong Kong. Many Chinese died, many days Hong Kong. So we want to put in the extra M for millimeters, just so that we don't confuse the millimeters with the meters. So we see we are converting from meters and we want to go to millimeters. The first thing we want to know is, what is the conversion rate between meters to millimeters? 1 meter is equal to how much millimeters, or how many millimeters? So that is what we need to do, and that is how we'll use this mnemonic to determine that. So the first thing we want to do, we see we are converting from meters to millimeters, so we'll put a 1 over the meters because we're converting from that. And then we want to convert to millimeters. So what we'll do, we'll put a 0 over all the letters until we reach the thing that we are converting to. So we put a 0 here and a 0 here. So this will give us the conversion rate. This will tell us 1 meters is equal to 1000 millimeters. And we discovered this. We use a table: many Chinese dance, many days Hong Kong. So to convert 125 meters to millimeters, we see we have to multiply by the conversion rate, which is 1000. So this will be 125 multiplied by 1000 would give us, we just add in the zeros to the 125, so this will be 125,000 millimeters. And that is the answer of how we convert from meters to millimeters, by using the mnemonic. And then from the mnemonic we get the conversion rate, and then we use the conversion rate to either multiply, or in a future example you'll see sometimes you have to divide. So let's look at another one. So we see we want to convert 3.5 km to meters. So of course we'll start off using the mnemonic: many Chinese dance many days Hong Kong. So we'll put in the additional M for mm. So we see we are converting from km, so we put the 1 over the km and we are going to meters. So we put 0 until we reach the thing that we are converting to, which is meters. So you put a 0 here, a 0 here, a 0 here. So this is telling us 1 km is equal to 1000 meters. So we see to convert from km to meters, we have to multiply by this 1000. So this will be 3.5 multiplied by 1000 will give us. So we put the 3.5 here. So we see we're multiplying by 1000. That means we are multiplying by 1000. That means we move the decimal point 3 times to the right. So we jump 1, 2, 3. So we put 0 in place here. So 3.5 times 1000 will give us 3500 meters. And that would be the answer when we convert 3.5 km to meters. Now let's look at another example. So you want to convert 3.5 millimeters to cm. So we start off with the mnemonic again. Many Chinese dance many days Hong Kong. So we put the we put the additional m for mm just so that we don't confuse the millimeters and the meters. So we see in this case now, we are converting from millimeters and we are going to cm. So we put the 1 over the millimeters and we put 0 until we reach cm. So we see in this case now we have a number. We can see the number 10, but the number 10 is written back to the front. So when you see the number is written back to the front like this, instead of multiplying, we have to divide. So when the number is back to the front, we have to divide by that number. So we know cm is the larger unit of the two. So we say 1 cm is equal to 10 mm. So because the 10 is back to the front, we have to divide. So this will be 3.5 divided by 10. And this 0 will carry the decimal point back there. So this is equal to 0.35 cm. And that is how you convert from one unit to the next, from mm to cm. So when we are converting, next thing we want to notice, when we are converting from a smaller unit to the larger unit, we divide. And this is discovered when we have a back to front number. So as you go along this part on the mnemonic, the unit is larger. So km in this case is the largest of the units. So let's look at some more examples. We want to convert 125 millimeters to meters. So we start off with the mnemonic again. Many Chinese dance many days Hong Kong. We put the additional m for mm. So we see we are converting from millimeters. So we put the 1 over millimeters and we are going towards meters. So we put 0 until we reach there. So we see we have 1000 back to the front. That means we are dividing by the 1000. So we can say 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeters. So this will be 125, because this is back to the front, we divided by 1000. So the point is here, this 0 carried back one time, this 0 carried back another time, and this 0 carried back another time. So this is equal to 0.125 meters. So 125 mm to m would be 0.25 meters. So let's look at another one. We want now to convert 250 cm to meters. So once again, we start off with our mnemonic. Many Chinese dance, many days Hong Kong. So you put the additional M for mm. So in this case, we are converting from cm. So you put the 1 over the cm and we are going towards meters. So you put 0 here until we reach meters. So once again, we see we have 100, but the 100 is back to the front. So that means we are dividing. So we can say 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. And we have 250, and this will be divided by the 100. This 0 cancel out that 0. This 0 will bring the point back here. So this is equal to 2.5 meters. 250 cm is equal to 2.5 meters. And that is how you convert between units of length using a mnemonic. So as long as you can remember that mnemonic, you can convert between any units of length. As easy as that. So there will be no need to remember how much km is equal to how much m and so on and so forth. Just remember the mnemonic and you can convert between any units of length. So let's look at different conversion, the different ways of converting. Sometimes you may be given an area of shape. You may ask to convert that area, we know area is measured in squared units, to another unit of measurement. So in this example, we want to convert 5 meters squared to cm squared. Now the approach is similar, but we just have to do one additional step to the ones that we were doing just now. So I already have the conversion rate here. 1 meter is equal to 100 cm. So we will need this. So what I will still put down the mnemonic. Many Chinese danced, many days Hong Kong. So we see we are converting from, let's add in the additional m. We're converting from meters and we are going to cm. So you put the 0 until you reach cm. So we already have that. 1 meter is equal to 100 cm. So we see we have to multiply, but the thing is we are not actually converting from meters to cm. We are converting from meters squared to cm squared. So we need to find what is the conversion rate from meters squared to cm squared. So how can we get that squared to this conversion rate that we have here? All we simply do, we square both sides. And that will give us the conversion rate. So when we square both sides, you see we'll end up with 1 times 1 is 1. M times m is m squared. And this is equal to 100 times 100 would simply give us, add on the 2 zeros, 10,000. Cm times cm will give us cm squared. So 1 meter squared is equal to 10,000 cm squared. And we get this by simply using the same many Chinese dance, many days Hong Kong, and then using that conversion rate and just squaring both sides. So we see to convert from meters squared to cm squared, we multiplied by 10,000. So this will be 5 multiplied by 10,000 will give me 50,000 cm squared. And that is how you convert squared unit from one squared unit to another squared unit. Using the same thing that we did, but just that additional step of squaring the conversion, normal conversion rate. So let's look at another one to solidify our understanding of this concept. So let's say we wanted to convert 4,700 mm squared to cm squared. So we have the conversion rate, but let's conform that with the many Chinese dance. So we have many Chinese dance, many days Hong Kong. So we add in the additional m. We are converting from millimeters and we are going to cm. So we just put in the 0 until we reach cm. So we see 1 cm is equal to 10 mm. So 1 cm is equal to 10 mm. And remember, the small unit will always be the 1. But we see whenever we get the conversion rate, because this is back to the front, we know we have to divide. But we must get the squared unit conversion rate. So to get that, we know we square both sides again. So we square the 1 cm, that would give us 1 cm squared is equal to, when we square the 10 mm, we'll get 100 mm squared. So we see to convert from millimeter squared to cm squared, we divide by 100. So this would be 4,700 divided by 100. This 0 cancels with that 0. This 0 cancels with that 0. So this is equal to 47 cm squared. And that is our answer of how we convert from millimeters squared to centimeters squared. And with that, it has brought us to the end of this video. I trust that you now have a solid understanding of how to convert from different units of length. We converted from cm to mm to km, and then we looked at converting squared units. So one thing we must remember, when we are converting from large unit to smaller units, we multiply. And when we are converting from smaller units to larger units, we divide. So we also learned about the mnemonic, which will help us to convert between any units of length for measurement. Many Chinese danced, many days Hong Kong. So you put the 1 over the thing that you're converting from, and you put zeros until you reach the unit that you are converting to. So with that mnemonic, you can convert between any units of length. So I trust that you now have a solid understanding of conversion between units of length, and I'll see you in the next video.